the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me double shot it down.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Turn 3 Racing Network, as tonight we are here with the Elite Racing League as they present the Mrs. Goodies 200 here at Homestead, Miami. Thank you very much for joining me, and the Elite join APS Cup Series as the drivers tackle this Homestead, Miami Speedway. This is race number 1 in the Elite Chase Round 2. And I am your host. My name is KR Stolvis. Thank you so much for joining us out here tonight. And I look forward to an amazing 134 laps of outstanding Elite Racing League action. The checkered flag is waving on this practice session, and we are getting ready to kick it off with qualifying here tonight. This is round number 2, as I mentioned. Our point standings look something like this. Chad Frankenfield continuing to lead these drivers. Gerald Campbell, Ethan Reisner, Joshua Furr, David Tooker, Damian Leininger, Thomas George, Tyler Riggs, and Dallas Myhan, all within 10 points of each other. Points got a little bit reset due to the new round opening up. With that being said, Thomas George in the 42 machine gonna roll out in a new paint scheme here tonight. That 42 looking very sharp here for this Homestead Miami race. A lot of drivers looking for a good race here, including our 9 chase drivers for this Homestead Miami track. Going to throw a bit of a curveball to these guys here tonight. We're going to see all sorts of close racing action throughout all 3 lanes on the track here tonight, maybe even 4. This track is very wide, very racy throughout all the lanes that you can come up with. Thomas George in that 42, coming around to complete his lap. The first driver to complete one, though, that is the 58 of Chris Jordan. Jordan working down onto the backstretch. The 42 of Thomas George is going to post, for the moment, our quick time with a 31.638. Logan Shea in the 6 machine, finding himself currently in a 4th place as well. Dallas Myhan in the 41, a chase contender. Right now showing he is in 6th quick. Brady Clark in the 14 machine, posting up 3rd. He's going to be one and done. The 64 of Andrew Rucker, looking to gobble up some positions on the track here tonight. Right now he is in 5th place. He is going to shut it down as he is qualified good enough for 2nd. No one has been able to top Thomas George just yet. Campbell in the 31 machine. He is on the clock and coming around to complete his first lap. .31 off of turn number 4 across the line, and his first lap is going to post him in 4th place. The 12 of Damian Leininger up off of turn number 4. He's going to come around. His first lap is going to set him into 6th. The drivers trying to lay down some quick laps here. 5-minute qualifying session ticking off very quickly here. Matthew Weeks in the 11 machine, getting ready to log his first lap. Across the line goes the 11. And Matthew Weeks maybe brushed the wall, maybe had a little bit of issue. That lap not registered. So he's going to have to try it again. 15 of Chad Frankenfield, our points leader in this opening round number 2. He's going to dash across the line. He's going to move into 6th place with his qualifying effort. Quickly drops down to 7th as the 10 of Jared Rexing moves into 2nd place. So Jared Rexing going to be 1 and done. He tries to catch that car through 1 and 2. That being said, guys, we're going to step away for our national anthem. No one go anywhere. We'll be back for the starting lineup of tonight's Mrs. Goodies 200.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back to the Turn 3 Racing Network as the Elite Racing League starts to grid up for the Mrs. Goodies 200 here at Homestead, Miami. That means it is time to go through our Elite Join APS Cup Series starting lineup. Thomas George in the 42 machine put it on pole with a 31.470. Jared Rexing on his outside, 31.475. That's going to make up our front row. Row number 2, the 19 of David Tooker and the 64 of Andrew Rucker. Row 3, the 15 of Chad Frankenfield and the 97 of Levi Zielinski. Row 4, Josh Robin in his second start here with the Elite Racing League. Gonna put it on the inside of row number 4. Joshua Clark on his outside. First time here in the Cup car. Row 5 will be the 31 of Gerald Campbell and the 25 of Joshua Furr. Row 6 will be the 11 of Matthew Weeks and the 12 of Damian Leininger. Row 7 will be the 94 of Kendall Noah Player and the 6 of Logan Shea. Row 8, the 14 of Brady Clark and the 32 of Dustin Dewar. Row 9 will be the 7 of Joshua Personette and the 41 of Dallas Myhan. Row 10 will be Chris Jordan and Michael Goodman. Row 11, Rusty Capel in the 9 and the 87 of Richard Hines. Row 12 will be Shane DiMantova and Ethan Reisner in the 86. Row 13, the 89 of Brent Jones and the 3 of Scott Haney. Row 14 will be the 22 of David Westergreen, and that is our Elite Racing League Join APS Cup Series starting lineup. The lights are out on the pace car. The 42 of Thomas George getting ready to take this field. Green flag racing, pace car down and away. Everyone patiently waiting for that green flag, and there we go. We are underway for 134 laps here at Homestead, Miami, and Thomas George with a good start. Gonna go into turn number 1 unchallenged. The 19 of David Tooker into second place. Little bit of bobble there. That is gonna allow the 10 of Jared Rexing to have a good run down the backstretch. He's gonna hold on to second place. Chad Frankenfield getting a little bit of pressure from Andrew Rucker in the 64, and lap number 1 already coming off of turns 3 and 4. The field starting to spread out a little bit. Everyone looking for some room to run, and Thomas George in the 42 gonna take over the top spot unchallenged for lap number 1. Rucker to the inside of Campbell with Levi Zielinski in the 97 trying to pick a winner of this battle. Already you can see these drivers going to be battling for spot on the racetrack. A little bit of racing room going to come at a premium here at Homestead, Miami. In these first few laps, everyone's going to be bunched up nose to tail. Campbell winning the battle between him and Rucker. Campbell's going to move into 5th place. Andrew Rucker in that 64 machine sitting in 6th. Levi Zielinski in the 97 right behind him. The front few cars all starting to get single file down the straightaway. Everyone kind of spreading out in the corners. Tonight's aerial coverage provided by Michael Goodman for the Mrs. Goodies 200. Speaking of Michael Goodman, 73 machine running a Green Bay Packers paint scheme here tonight. Right now he finds himself in a battle with the 87 of Richard Hines. Hines running a very shiny paint scheme. Golden colored 87 machine with some blue. Almost looks like it's wrapped in Christmas wrappings for the holidays. Speaking of the holidays, we have been off for 2 weeks here with the Elite Racing League. It's been a long 2 weeks. All the drivers are itching to get out there, turn some laps, and lay down some quick times here tonight. Right now, Thomas George, the fastest driver on the track. He's got almost a half-second lead for the moment over Jared Rexing. David Tooker finding himself in 3rd. Tooker from the Pro Edge Racing stable. Thomas George in the 42. I do know he joined a team, but I do not have the note as to who that team was, so I apologize. But the 42 right now listed as not being on a team, but let's say unofficially he joined somebody. I just can't remember who. Yeah, silly broadcaster. Josh Robin in the 2 machine. Go on board with Robin. Finding himself in 9th place. Good shot here throughout this corner. As you can see, drivers all trying very different lines. Joshua Furr in the 25. Right now he finds himself in 10th place with Damian Leininger in the 12 machine right behind him. We took a quick peek at our point standings. Joshua Furr right now finds himself 4th place in the points coming into this event here tonight. Drivers will have 3 races in round number 2 to determine which 4 drivers are going to advance into the final round. Final race is going to be happening at Gateway. Make sure you set your calendars for that, as we will be crowning a champion. Will be one of 4 drivers. Who is it going to be? I don't know, but Thomas George looking like he's going to try and put his name in the hat. A win will get you in. That 42 machine right now solidly out front, but Jared Rexing in the 10 did not make it into the chase. He is looking to upset the standings here. Finding himself in 2nd place. Could be someone that these drivers in the chase have to deal with. I do have to check myself. Jared Rexing did make it into the chase, just did not survive round number 1. So the 10 in 2nd place here. David Tooker, a chase contender in the 19 machine, sitting in 3rd. Right behind him is the 15 of Chad Frankenfield. Those 2 drivers are chase contenders, along with our race leader, Thomas George. 5th place right now is Gerald Campbell in the 31. Campbell came into tonight 2nd place in the point standings. Is 34 points behind a Frankenfield. Dallas Myhan in the 41. Right now, Dallas Myhan, 9th place in the point standings. He needs a spectacular run here tonight. That 41 machine right now sitting in 19th place, in danger of losing that spot to the 87 of Richard Hines. That 41 machine falls to 20th spot here. Very early in the race, still feeling that car out. But Dallas Myhan, Tyler Riggs, Thomas George, Damian Leininger all need spectacular runs here tonight, as they are down in the order for the points a little bit, we'll say just below the cutoff. Got Haney in the 3 machine, trying to chase down the 86 of Ethan Reisner. Reisner deep in this field here. Entered tonight's race 3rd place in the point standings. Reisner did not turn a qualifying lap, started in 24th. Starting to work his way forward as the field has started to string out a little bit. Maybe that 86 machine trying to run a very cautious race, a little conservative strategy here at the beginning. Make sure you have a little something at the end for this event. Meanwhile, we got a 3-car battle. That is the 94 of Kendall Noah Player making a move down to the inside of the 25 of Joshua Furr. And that is the 28 of Josh Clark, trying to decide where he wants to go. Clark in that 28 machine's got a good view of this battle. He's thinking about making it 3 wide on the front stretch. Kendall Noah Player losing a little bit of speed coming off of turn 4. That is going to keep him from going 3 wide. And now Clark on the higher side of the 25 machine. Got a good little run here down the straightaway. Gonna get to the back bumper of the 25 machine, but just runs out of time on that straightaway. So these three cars all going at it. That is a battle for 11th, 12th, and 13th. With the 25 of Furr holding on to 11th spot. Meanwhile, the 42 of Thomas George has opened up a 1.2 second lead over Jared Rexing. The 11 of Matthew Weeks completes the pass on Andrew Rucker. Rucker not satisfied with getting past. He's going to make a dive down in the inside. Matthew Weeks going to give the position to him. They trade positions in the corner. Here comes Weeks back once again. Weeks and Rucker side by side entering turn number 3. Rucker gonna go way up high. Matthew Weeks down on the bottom and gonna slide up in front of the 64 of Andrew Rucker. Robin in the 2 machine making his second start this season. Solidly into 7th place right now. Chasing the 97 of Levi Zielinski. That is Levi Rowdy Zielinski to you and me. We're not on first name basis with Levi. Gotta clarify that. Gotta make that note. Got slapped around. Didn't call him Levi Rowdy Zielinski enough. But the 97 taking a peek to the inside of Frankenfield. Frankenfield looks like he is losing a little bit of ground here. Campbell has gotten around him, put Campbell into 4th place. 15 into 5th. Fuel run here tonight is expected to be anywhere from 55 to 60 laps. Tire fall off is going to happen. In fact, we already see a 1 second fall off in 23 laps. Thomas George, his best lap of a 31.579 is the fastest lap so far here tonight. Last time around, he turned a 32.406, so sitting at 1 second fall off already. The tires are going to be important. 3 wide coming off of turn number 2. Robin's trying to make something happen here. Levi Zielinski to the inside of Frankenfield. Chad Frankenfield in the 15 machine has a big points cushion. In comparison to everyone else, Chad Frankenfield has a 34-point lead over second place Gerald Campbell, but Campbell only has a 10-point lead over 9th place Dallas Myhan. You can see the points favoring the 15 machine right now. Maybe he knows that. Maybe being very conservative on the start here along with Ethan Reisner. We check in on the 86. Reisner in that 86 machine has moved forward a little bit more since last time we saw him. He finds himself in 18th spot right now, just in front of the 7 of Personette. Joshua Furr in the 25 has fallen back quite a bit now. He finds himself in 15th spot. Chris Jordan in the 58, just ahead of him. Meanwhile, the 28 of Clark trying to work over the 64 of Rucker. Clark down to the inside. Doesn't quite have the 64 cleared enough. Rucker's going to get a good run off of turn number 4. Pulls alongside with Clark in the 28. Logan Shea in the 6 trying to decide where he wants to go. Rucker starting to use that high line to carry momentum down the straightaways. Clark using that low line to shorten the track up. Clark down to the white line, touched it just a little bit there. Doesn't look like it broke his momentum enough. But here comes Rucker with the momentum from that high side, trying to pull along. But he has lost a few inches to the 28. Logan Shea giving a little bit of drafting help. Looked like a bit of a bump draft at the flag stand, and Clark gonna slide up in front of Rucker. Rucker now pinched between the 28 and the 6. And Clark has the position, so move Clark into the top 10. Meanwhile, the 15 has lost the battle to the 2 of Robbins. I apologize. Robbins is now chasing down the 97 of Levi Zielinski. "30 laps have been completed here so far tonight. Let me know who you're cheering for in YouTube chat. That 2 machine looking solid here. Got a bit of an uphill battle, finding himself in 6th place. He is closing the gap on the 97. Now slides in front of him, completes the pass. Levi Zielinski gonna follow in his tire tracks. But the 2 of Robin moves into the top 5 and now sets his sights on Gerald Campbell. Meanwhile, at the front, Thomas George had a 1.2 second lead at one point in this opening run. Jared Rexing in the 10 has closed it down to a just under a half second. Michael Goodman in the 73 is the first car 1 lap down. We do have 2 cars that have already gone behind the wall for a very early exit. One of those being a front runner. That is the 25 of Joshua Furr. Maybe an early night for the 25 machine as he has gone behind the wall. We'll see if he can get back out in this event. And David Westergreen. Looks like Westergreen only turned a few laps and then pulled in a start and park situation for the 22. Rexing in the 10, now onto the back bumper of the 42. Jared Rexing using that high side. Thomas George running right on the white line. That is Dallas Myhan in the 41, who has fallen all the way to 23rd spot. Just in front of our race leaders. The Myhan, who was hoping for a good run here, looks like this opening stint not playing out to his liking and is in serious danger of going a 1 lap down. I'd say if I'm the 41, I'd pull down pit road, get some fresh tires, try and turn some fast laps before these leaders get onto pit road. Do what I can to stay ahead of them. Stay on that lead lap. He is going to lose laps here. Goes way up high to stay out of this battle. It is going to cause the 10 of Rexing to have to pinch his exit off a little bit. The 10 machine handles it like a pro. In fact, I think the 10 even closed up a little bit more on the 42. David Tooker in the 19 still sitting in third place. Robin in the 2 has moved into fourth. Josh Robin last time around turned a 32.909, one of the only drivers staying in that 32-second bracket, everyone else into the low 33s. So Robin is a man on a mission. He is charging towards the front. Robin looking like he has got this long haul figured out. Check in on the 2 machine. As I say that, the 2 gets passed by the 97. Looked like he messed up the exit off of turn 4. The charging right back. They're going to go 3 wide. Thought about 3 wide. They tried to work their way around the 41 of Dallas Myhan. And now Levi Zielinski in the 97, back into fourth place. Ethan Reisner in the 86, making a move on the 64 of Andrew Rucker. Rucker's going to brush the wall a little bit there. That's going to leave the opening for the 94 of Kendall Noah Player make the pass. So Ethan Reisner started in 24th spot, has moved his way into 13th here in the opening run. We're about 15 laps away from green flag pit stops. Damian Leininger in the 12 machine, chasing down the 15 of Frankenfield. That is a battle for 7th place, currently held by the 15 machine. Leininger going way up high, trying to get a run down the straightaway. Frankenfield defending that inside lane. Leininger not able to do anything with the 15 now that he has caught him. Following in his tire tracks, that 12 looking for clean air through the corners. Trying a little bit higher than the 15 goes. Get some air across the nose, plant that front end. Help make the corner. It looks like the 12 really able to drive it in deep into 1 there. We'll see how the 15 gets up off of turn 2. Leininger using the draft down the straightaway. And Levi Zielinski, Thomas George in the 42 on pit road. Green flag pit stops have opened. The 94 player already exiting his pit stall. Andrew Rucker has made a pit stop along with Richard Hines. That has given the lead to the 10 of Jared Rexing. And the 10 machine gonna pull it down onto pit road here. Slows it down to pit road speed limit of 50 miles an hour. The 19 of David Tooker now inherits the lead. With green flag pit stops underway, how long will the 19 stay out? Gonna be giving up just about 2 seconds per lap. Hooker gonna stay out and lead another lap. We have had 3 leaders now because of green flag pit stops. Half the field has been on pit road. Thomas George in the 42 making the pass on the 10. Once this cycles back around, the 42 will inherit the lead. Jared Rexing will be in second place as Tooker in the 19 and the 97 of Levi Zielinski hit pit road. So Tooker from the race lead makes his pit stop. That is going to allow the 15 to be our race leader. Now, when will the 15 hit pit road? Fuel run, depending on how much you're on the throttle, like I said earlier, anywhere from 55 to 60 laps. Frankenfield might try and run this out until his tank is dry. Robin in the 2, getting back on the lead lap. When this cycles around, he'll find himself in 3rd. Hooker in the 19 has the fresher tires here. You can see how much of a difference that makes. As the 58 machine. Of Jordan, trying to figure out where Jordan's running, looking for him. Oh, Jordan scored in second place. Jordan trying to take the lead away from Frankenfield here. 3rd place for the moment going to Matthew Weeks in the 11. Zielinski on that high side with the fresher tires, going to get himself back on the lead lap. And it looks like the 15 is going to bring it to a slow and hit pit road. That gives the lead to the 58 of Chris Jordan. That's going to leave 7 cars who have not pitted yet. Jordan in the 58, your race leader. Matthew Weeks in the 11 going to move into 2nd place. Ethan Reisner up to 3rd in the 86 machine. Dustin Dewar in the 32 has not hit pit road yet. Finding himself in 4th. Rusty Capel in 5th. And now Jordan hits pit lane. From the race lead, that will give the lead to the 11 of Matthew Weeks. Reisner in the 86. Going to try and make a pass for the lead here. He has been solidly moving forward through all the cars who have not pitted. That 86 giving up a lot of time here as Reisner going to take the top spot. Frankenfield on the fresher tires, going to slice his way through the 11 and the 86. And it looks like the 11 is going to slow. He's going to hit pit road this time. Ethan Reisner staying out. That is going to leave just 3 cars who have not hit pit road. Ethan Reisner, Dustin Dewar, and Rusty Capel in the 9. Michael Goodman in the 73 finds himself 3 laps down, trying to get one of those laps back. The Reisner in that 86, giving up a ton of time here to run this as deep as he can. You gotta wonder, does the 86 think he can make this race on 2 stops? He'd have to go very deep in both runs, giving up a ton of time. Yeah, I don't think a 2-stop strategy is the way to go here. I think you're just going to end up giving up too much time to try and stretch it, as far as you would have to stretch it on your fuel. But then again, that's why I'm in the broadcast booth. No one will remember my name. People only remember winners. Who broadcast that race? We don't know. Well, who won it? Well, it was Ethan Reisner. He did an outstanding strategy. Only pitted twice. See? That's conversations that go on in the racing circles. Dustin Dewar in the 32 machine, finding himself in 2nd place. Dewar started in 23rd, or I'm sorry, in 16th. Fell all the way back to 23rd. Now he finds himself in 2nd. Both he and Reisner, this time around, they turned a 33.7 and 0.6 respectively from 1st to 2nd. Thomas George, sitting in 3rd, turned a 32.038, so about 1.5 seconds per lap. George right now just 3.5 seconds back from Dustin Dewar. We check in on the 42. George has a 1.4 second lead over the 10 of Jared Rexing. 2 drivers just waiting to inherit the lead from Reisner when that 86 hits pit road. Personette in the 7, Weeks in the 11 machine. Both of them going to get a lap back. Thomas George in the 42 machine has moved into 2nd place. Dustin Dewar taking this car very deep into this run, along with the 32 or the 86, both of them hitting the pit road this time. So quite a few laps for the 86 and the 32, but not enough to make it on a 2-tire or a 2-stop strategy. Thomas George in the 42 machine, back to the front. George has led for 44 laps in this race so far. We've been green flag since the start of this thing. Started 27 cars. We have 24 out on track. Early exits, the 89 of Brent Jones, the 25 of Joshua Furr, and the 22 of David Westergreen. Those drivers 25th, 26th, and 27th, respectively. Last car on the lead lap, that is the 11 machine of Matthew Weeks. He finds himself in 14th spot. Weeks just a few seconds ahead of our race leader. With all this great racing going on, I have missed the pass for the race lead. The 10 of Jared Rexing taking over the top spot. George in the 42 losing out through traffic. Rexing able to negotiate it a little bit better than the 42. So Jared Rexing leads for the first time here tonight. We've had 7 different leaders so far. George had led for 46 laps in total. And now Jared Rexing trying to add some laps led to his stats. And the caution flag is going to come out. We got one car going all sorts of sideways. That is the 41 of Dallas Myhan. Let's go to our turn 3 instant replay and see where things went wrong for the 41 machine. Down the backstretch, the 42 of Thomas George just going to get into him, misjudging the entry there a little bit. And the 41 goes for a spin, does not make any other contact. So Myhan in the 41, despite the spin, going to be able to continue on. I think Thomas George would like to have that one back. Maybe there was a bit of a scuffle beforehand, and George, being a race leader, not appreciative of the way the 41 was racing him. Doesn't matter, the caution flag comes out. The 10 of Jared Rexing and the 42 of Thomas George onto pit road. 4 tires for these drivers. Ten down in the way, the 42 sitting on pit road. 97 and the 19, close race off of pit road there. 94 and the 6, also in a drag race. But Rexing going to be your race leader off of pit road. With that, guys, we're going to take a quick break. No one go anywhere. We'll be back to set up this restart. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the lights have gone out on the pace car. Drivers working their way side by side down the backstretch. Jared Rexing in the 10 machine on the inside of row number 1. The 97 of Levi Zielinski on his outside to get ready to go. Green flag racing as the first caution of the night draws to a close. The 19 of David Tooker, the 12 of Damian Leininger going to make up row number 2 for this restart. Harold Campbell and Chad Frankenfield in the 3rd row. Pace car down and away. Rexing on the throttle with a good jump. The 10 machine caught the 97 sleeping, and Rowdy has to make up some ground. He's going to drop in, try and use the draft, following in the tire tracks of that 10 machine. David Tooker in the 19. Oh, as we got more trouble on the restart. We got one car around. That is the 14 of Brady Clark. Rusty Capel in the 9 getting involved as well. Caution breeds caution. And here's a perfect example as several drivers get caught up in this one. Go high atop on the blimp. And the 14 into the wall. Robin involved. Capel involved. Looks like Jordan in the 58 got a piece of it as well. Take another look at the 14 machine. He got loose going into turn 1 all by himself. Personette in the 7 had nowhere to go. We go on board with the 7 of Personette, the 14 just ahead. Goodman getting a piece of this as well. So now the 97 of Levi Zielinski staying out. He's going to take over the top spot from the 10 of Jared Rexing. So some different strategies coming into play here. Very interesting strategies shaping up. The 10 of Jared Rexing came down pit road, 2 tire stop, fuel added. We might see that the 10 could have made his last stop of the night. If we get into a long green flag run, this could be the race winning move. Drivers who stayed out, the 97 of Zielinski, David Tooker in the 19, Leininger in the 12, Shea in the 6, Rucker in the 64, Clark in the 28, and Matthew Weeks in the 11. 7 drivers stayed out to either retain or gain some track position. So quite the turn of events here with the Elite Racing League Mrs. Goodies 200 at Homestead, Miami. Brent Jones checking in from YouTube, having some issues with his equipment. Brent, I do gotta ask, have you ran the auto config in iRacing since the update. I know you've been talking about having some issues since this update. I try and always run an auto config every single time. You never know what has changed. If you haven't done one of those yet, you can find it on the iRacing homepage. Always try and run a auto config, and then if everything checks out good, then I start tweaking my settings from there. Yeah, I've done it, just kind of talking to myself, but if you haven't done it, hopefully that helps you out, man. Hate to see you not out there. Lights are out on the pace car. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing. This is going to be another restart. David Tooker in the 19 on the inside. The 97 of Levi Rowdy Zielinski electing the outside lane. Damian Leininger and Logan Shea make up row number 2. Green flag is out, and the 97 gets a good jump. Shea in the 6 timed it perfectly as well. He's going to draw side by side with the 19 of Tooker. Can he get the pass? Tooker in the 19 charges right back. We got the 31 machine of Campbell. All sorts of out of shape. Campbell going to smack that inside wall. So Gerald Campbell finding trouble on this restart. No caution, as that was a single car incident down below the racing line. The 31 gets rolling, but that is going to cost him a ton of time. Meanwhile, the battle for third place. Damian Leininger to the inside of Logan Shea. Leininger moves into third, Shea to fourth. Damian Leininger in the 12 machine. 4 points on the cutoff into tonight's race, finding himself in third. A season hanging in the balance for 9 championship contending drivers, one of those being the 12 machine. Now he sits in third, challenging the 19 of David Tooker. Tooker came into tonight tied with 4th place with Joshua Furr. Joshua Furr already out of this race. A bad points night for the 25 machine. So our point standings are going to take quite a shock after this event. And now Campbell finding trouble as well in that 31 machine. Campbell came into tonight second in the point standings. Thomas George, our early race leader, right now he finds himself in 11th place. As he watches a battle go on in front of him, he's got nowhere to go just yet. The 94 of Kendall Noah Player right in front of him. Matthew Weeks in the 11 machine, Andrew Rucker and Joshua Clark, along with the 15 of Chad Frankenfield, all stacked up right here. George gonna go to the high side. Gonna make the pass on the 94. Meanwhile, Leininger has moved into second. He is now setting his sights on the 97 of Levi Rowdy Zielinski. Logan Shea on the outside of the 19 of David Tooker. That is a battle for third. Tooker Had to lift a little bit there, and that is going to give the position to the 6 of Shea. So Logan Shea moves into the top 3. Jared Rexing now making a move on the 19. That is a battle for 4th. Sparks flying as the drivers try and use all the track to get into turn 3. Frankenfield now on the outside of the 19 of Rexing. That outside lane carries a lot of speed down the straightaway here at Homestead, Miami. But the 19 with a great run opens up the gap between the 10 and the 15. Now he sets his sights on the 6 of Shea. Meanwhile, Thomas George in the 42 taking a peek to the inside of the 64 of Andrew Rucker. And a battle for the race lead. The 12 of Damian Leininger diving down to the inside. Levi Rowdy Zielinski trying to hold on to the lead on the high side. He's going to get the run and the momentum down the backstretch. Leininger going to defend against the pass from the 6 of Shea. And now Leininger going to try and enter a little bit higher, arc the corner a little bit more, and close the gap on the 97. Zielinski holding on to the race lead. He's led for 14 laps. Will it be 15 or 16 laps? I don't know, but that 12 would like to have a little piece of the action. Leininger has yet to lead a lap so far tonight. Bonus point for leading a lap would go a long way, as he was just a few points out of the cutoff. He's going to make a move down to the inside. Touches the apron, washes up a little bit, does not get into the 97. That could have been a huge stack up, as there are 5-6 cars running nose to tail right there. Now the 15 of Chad Frankenfield making a move to the inside of Tooker. Lap car Personette trying to get out of the way, diving down to the inside. He's going to go another lap down. And Tooker could lose the spot to the 15, but he's not giving up just yet. Neither is Damian Leininger. That 12 machine all over the back bumper of the 97. He wants the lead. He's going to drive it in deep into turns 3 and 4, but the 97 is going to match him and stay to the outside. That's going to keep Leininger from throttling up as he would like. And Zielinski holding on to second. While these two are battling, they are stacking everyone up behind them. Things are tight at the front of this field. Zielinski continues to lead. Now Shea in the 6 gonna make a move on Leininger. He dives down to the inside of 3. Leininger gonna try and get the run up off the corner. Job done by the 12, but the battle isn't over just yet. Zielinski using this opportunity to catch his breath, maybe open up a bit of a gap. Check your mirrors, Levi. Gather yourself in, because be ready. There is a lot of hungry drivers behind you. And the caution flag is going to come out. Andrew Rucker in the 64 pointed in an awkward position. And we are going to reset the field and do this all over again. Go to our turn 3 instant replay and see what happened to the 64 machine. Andrew Rucker gets into the wall at turn 3, breaks him loose, overcorrects nose first into the outside wall, and doesn't make contact with anyone else. So the 64 bringing out tonight's, what caution is this? Number 3. We've had 9 lead changes among 8 different drivers. And everyone coming down pit road. Rexing in the 10, down and away with a 2-tire stop. The 28 of Clark, 2 tires as well. So the 10 machine gonna win the race off of pit road. Rexing from Bright Light Motorsports. Teammate Damian Leininger, both drivers having an outstanding race here tonight. Let's see if we can't get a word in with the driver of the 10 machine. That is Jared Rexing. Jared, you got your ears on, bud?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Well, the 10 machine wins the race off of pit road with another 2-tire stop. We saw you take 2 tires under the last caution. Tell us a little bit about what you got in store for us here with that 10 sitting out front now.
Well, with how important clean air is, I really don't got nothing to lose. If I took 4, I would have been at 5th and not been able to pass. So I think this is the best shot I got.
Well, Jared, you got your teammate Damian Leininger just a few spots behind you. Are you two trying to come up with a strategy here for this restart?
Yeah, I'll probably come up in front of him and give me a good push, but he's trying to get his way on to the next round of the playoffs. I'm out, so I just got.
All right, man. Well, while you got a chance, any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
Shout out to my team and shout out to my wife.
All right, Jared, good luck, man. Hopefully those 2 tires and the strategy you and your teammate are going to form work out well for you.
Thank you.
That is Jared Rexing from Bright Light Motorsports in the 10 machine. And a restart on the outside, hopefully with his teammate Damian Leininger able to give him a push, but you heard it from him. Rexing, who had a solid run going in the first part of the season, ended up with some bad luck in stage 1 of the chase. Did not continue on into round 2, but his teammate Damian Leininger, who's right behind him, did advance. So the 10 and the 12 going to try and work together here. Lights have gone out on the pace car. Rexing in the 10, Clark in the 28. That's row number 1. Row 2, Levi Zielinski on the inside, Damian Leininger on the outside. Green flag gonna fly with 39 laps to go. Everyone should be good on fuel from here. And the green flag is out. Drivers are down and away. We pick this race up once again as the speeds start to climb. The 10 and the 12 with a great start. Leininger moves into second. Thomas George finding himself in third place, and the caution flag coming out again. This time a huge stack up. We got 4 cars heavily damaged. Chase contender Gerald Campbell involved in another one. Chris Jordan in the 58 getting a piece of it. We go to our turn 3 Racing Network instant replay. The 31. Oh, it's the 87. Had to check up the 20 with nowhere to go, and it starts a chain reaction. '87 got loose in the corner. Chain DeMantova makes contact with him. And then the stack up behind him. Will be our 4th caution of the night. Had 10 lead changes among 8 drivers. Thomas George in the 42 has led the most laps so far at 46. Has not locked down leading the most laps yet. Jared Rexing still has enough laps to be able to take that away from him. Got Haney in the 3, getting the wave around for the free pass. I will put Haney 1 lap down. The trouble here in round number 2, race number 1 for this round, for 2 of our chase contenders. Joshua Furr already out of this race, scored all the way down in 26th spot. Gerald Campbell in the 31 sitting on pit road with a heavily torn up machine. Damian Leininger leading all our chase contenders. Thomas George right behind him. That is 2nd and 3rd place. David Tooker finding himself in 8th place, right in front of Chad Frankenfield in the 15. Ethan Reasoner sitting in 11th. Tyler Riggs not making the start here tonight. That is going to hurt his playoff chances. And Dallas Myhan in the 41 finding himself 2 laps down. Throw that all together, and that is 4 of 9 drivers not having the points night that they need to make it above the cutoff line. Round number 2 of the Elite Chase. Miami is race number 1. The Pinecone Cabin 200 taking place next week at Rockingham Speedway. That is January 15th for 200 laps. And then the final race at the ISM Raceway for the Phoenix 200, January 22nd. 5 drivers will get eliminated. 4 drivers here tonight having bad points nights. Turn 3 Racing Network will be bringing you all 4 remaining races, well, if you count this one, of the season. Could not be more ecstatic about how this is shaping up. The intensity level just gets higher and higher with each race. But now teammates on the front row, Jared Rexing and Damian Leininger from Bright Lights Motorsports, gonna try and figure out how they can get the 12 to be one of Elite Join APS Cup Series Championship drivers. Pace car down and away, green flag is out, and Jared Rexing with a good jump on his teammate Damian Leininger. Leininger gonna try and close the door on the 42 of Thomas George. And Damian Leininger has just gone for a trip through the grass. The same thing that happened to Gerald Campbell has now just jumped up and bit Damian Leininger. No caution, he has fallen from second place all the way down to 15th. The 10 machine has clean air and a bit of a gap to the 42 of Thomas George. Leininger gonna need help from a caution now to get back in this thing. Opening race of round number 2. Headline should read, Chase drivers finding trouble. Now Thomas George leads all Chase contenders. He sits in second place. Jared Rexing in the 10, trying to win his first race of the season. Trying to outrun Thomas George. He is pulling away. Meanwhile, the 97 machine of Levi Zielinski taking a peek to the inside of the 28 of Clark. Matthew Weeks in the 11 machine right there on the back bumper. Weeks taking a peek, thought about 3 wide for a moment. Chad Frankenfield in the 15, diving down to the inside of the 19 of David Tooker. Frankenfield now losing a spot to, I don't know where Matthew Weeks challenging Frankenfield there. That's a better statement. Logan Shea in the 6. Right there as well. Frankenfield on the high side. Gonna slot in, everyone getting single file down the front stretch. Frankenfield going up high, trying to make the pass on the 19 of Tooker. Makes the pass down the front stretch, put Frankenfield into 5th. Jared Rexing in the 10 continues to lead. Clark in the 28, now under pressure from the 97 and the 15. Clark on 2 tires. On that last pit stop, everyone made 14 laps ago. Zielinski with the run down the straightaway, gonna dive in deep here into turn 1. Frankenfield gonna try and go to the high side, maybe make some 3 wide action down the back stretch. And Zielinski gonna lose 2 spots there. Clark in the 28 down to the bottom once again. Frankenfield using that high side to his advantage. He's gonna move into 3rd. So Frankenfield in just a few laps went from 7th to 3rd. And now Zielinski to the inside of Clark. The only other driver who made a 2-tire stop just a few laps ago, that was our race leader, the 10 of Jared Rexing. He has a 0.6 second lead now over Thomas George. George not letting him get too far away. That has been a solid 0.6 seconds here for the last few laps. Frankenfield in the 15. Now that he has cleared the 28, has opened up a gap. Sets his sights on the 42 machine. Can the 15 run him down and make the pass for second place? We're looking at 25 laps to go. Rexing in the 10, holding on to the race lead. And George is closing in little by little. Dustin Dewar in the 32, battling with Shane DiMantova in the 20. That is a battle for 12th place. Move Dustin Dewar into 12th for the moment. Shane with a run down the backstretch, pulling alongside. Dewar holding that white line through 3 and 4. Meanwhile, the 28 of Clark battling for positions here. David Tooker in the 19 moves into 4th, Clark in 5th. We go on aboard with Thomas George in the 42 machine. He is slowly closing in on Jared Rexing. Both drivers know that there is a lot at stake here. Rexing hoping to seal the deal, get his first win of the season. George in the 42 hoping to punch his ticket to be one of the final 4 drivers in the championship race at Gateway. Meanwhile, Kendall Noah Player in the 94, Matthew Weeks in the 11, and Logan Shea in the 6, having a discussion, very polite discussion, about who is going to finish where. Who's the 94 washes up a little bit. The 11 is going to have to go high to avoid contact. That is going to open the door for the 6 of Logan Shea to get around the 94. So Kendall losing a few spots there. The 86 of Ethan Reasoner finding himself in 10th place after starting deep in the field. Started 27 cars, and with just 17 laps to go, we have 20 cars out on the track. 14 of them on the lead lap. Damian Leininger sitting in 14th spot. Lost all that time. He fell from second place on the restart as he got sideways coming off of turn number 2. The good news for Damian Leininger was not the only elite chase contender to have a rough night here. far as for points. Campbell in the 31 machine has pulled it onto pit road. But Gerald Campbell may be calling it a night here early. He does find himself 3 laps down and counting. Campbell came into tonight second place in the point standings. Only had a few points above the cutoff. And by a few, I mean like 6. But again, many of our chase drivers have had issues. And it looks like with 14 to go, Jared Rexing is going to try and win this thing. That Rexing, at 10 machine, a non-chase contender. Should he win this, that means that all 4 spots are still open by points and not by one of our contenders getting a race win and locking themselves into the final round. Again, that just means that the intensity level is going to ramp up a little bit more next week at Rockingham. Meanwhile, the 15 of Frankenfield closing in on George in the 42. Battle for second place here with 12 laps to go. Rusty Capel staying high, trying to stay out of this battle. David Tooker in the 19, right there in a 4th place. That is 3 chase contenders in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Rexing has opened up a 2.2 second lead. Like he flipped a switch and said, I'm gonna win this thing. You guys are gonna have to take it away from me. Coming around this time to 10 laps to go. Jared Rexing in the 10 machine. Probably screaming that there is rain all over the track. Throw the checkered flag. Let's end this thing. The 19 of David Tooker's saying not yet. I might have a few spots here. He battles with the 15 and the 42. That is a battle for second place between 3 chase contenders. Tooker on the inside of Frankenfield here. Had a good run off of turn number 4. Frankenfield has used that high side to his advantage several times, but Tooker in the 19's got the nose on the 15 here. Not going to clear him through the corner here, but 15 of Frankenfield going to have a run down the straightaway. George in front of him, using that draft, but Tooker able to enter the corner as he wishes. Frankenfield had to lift as the 42 was there. That slowed him down a little bit, but he rolled into the throttle and carried that momentum on the high side once again. And now we're looking at 8 laps to go. This race is winding down. The 15 looks like he is going to concede the position to the 19 of Tooker, so put David Tooker into 3rd. Ethan Reasoner, our 4th highest running chase contender, finds himself in 9th place. Joshua Clark in the 28 machine has fallen all the way to 10th. While all of the battling has been going on for second, third, and fourth, Jared Rexing has opened up a 3.2 second gap, and now he is looking at 6 laps to go. Could this be the win that Jared Rexing has been chasing all season long? Rexing looking very solid through 3 and 4. Very steady up off the corner, carrying a lot of speed. Gonna put another lap on Campbell in the 31. Campbell all the way down in 19th spot. Dallas Myhan in 17th. Rexing continuing to be the fastest driver out on the track. Gonna have 4 laps to go when he crosses the line. And Jared Rexing, who had such a solid season, found a string of bad luck in the Elite Chase round 1. Did not make it into round 2, but looking at a race win here to kick off round number 2, saying, hey guys, I may not be in the chase, but I am still a threat. I have been a threat all season. Do not count me out of this race or season. 3 more times around before the 10 machine. David Tooker in the 19, taking a peek on the inside of the 42 of George. Down the back stretch, the 19 gonna cut up in front of the 42. Now the 42 and the 15 gonna ghost in together, and that is going to send Chad Frankenfield around. And the 15 machine get torn up as the 42 and the 15 make contact down the back stretch. Let's go to our turn 3 instant replay and see that one more time. Levi Zielinski got a little piece of the 15. Ethan Reisner taking it to the grass. Dustin Dewar sideways. Dustin Dewar using some dirt tracking skills there to keep it off the 15. We'll take another look. David Tooker in the 19. Down in the inside of the 42 of Thomas George. Slides up in front of George off a corner exit. The 15 and the 42 just making contact. Close, hard racing. And that is going to set up an attempt at a green-white checkered. Jared Rexing, David Tooker, Ethan Reisner, Josh Clark all staying out, along with Shane DeMantova. Logan Shea did come down pit road. We missed pit stops watching that replay. The 4 cars did not pit. First one out on fresh tires. That is the 6 of Logan Shea. The 94 of Kendall Noah Player right behind him. 2 tires for those 2 drivers. The 97 of Levi Zielinski. 2 tire stop along with a little bit of damage repair. And we will have a green-white checkered attempt. Jared Rexing is going to have a bit of a buffer between him and Logan Shea. But Shea in the 6, having those fresh tires, he has a shot at winning this thing. He's going to restart third row outside. Working our 5th caution of the night. Jared Rexing gonna walk away with leading the most laps here tonight at 52 laps and counting. Rexing gonna choose the inside lane. One of our chase contenders who was hoping for a caution, that is the 12 of Damian Leininger. Gonna have a shot to gain some ground in the point standings here. One person who did not want to have that caution happen, 42 of Thomas George, he has gone behind the wall. So Thomas George, a chase contender, having more problems here tonight. And it really has come down to a battle of attrition between our 9 drivers. All right, guys, green, white, checkered. Call them out now. Who do you think's going to win this one as we get ready to go green flag racing? Jared Rexing in the 10 on the inside. David Tooker in the 19 on the outside. Green flag is out and we are away once again. David Tooker with a great restart. He's got the momentum down the corner. He's got the 28 on his back bumper. 4 cars here for the race lead. Rexing washing up a little bit, no contact, but David Tooker gonna carry the momentum down the straightaway and take away the race lead, but Rexing isn't gonna let him get away too far. Rexing on the inside, battling door to door with David Tooker. Tooker trying to pinch him down a little bit. It's gonna keep him side by side for the moment. White flag in the air, final time around. And Jared Rexing and David Tooker pulling away from the rest of the field. Trouble behind them. Matthew Weeks involved. Damian Leininger involved. We stay green. It is going to be a race to the finish, and Jared Rexing drives it in deep. David Tooker contact. Here comes Kendall Noah Player, but Jared Rexing at the line is going to win it. And Kendall gonna finish a very close second place. David Tooker ending up 3rd, Josh Clark 4th, and Ethan Reisner gonna round out your top 5. What a finish to the opening round of Elite Chase. And Rexing gets a long overdue race win. The 10 machine grabs a low gear and lights up the rear tires. We're gonna set up our post-race show. No one go anywhere. We'll be back to talk to our race winner.
I really would have been bummed out had I finished the season without a win. So being close a couple other times at Daytona and Atlanta, I'm just glad I was able to get one here.
Well, man, congratulations on your race win. Any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
Another shout out to my team. Damien's trying hard to advance to the next round of the playoffs, and shout out to my wife. She's watching. Real excited that I got this win. So
All right, man. Well, again, congratulations on your race win. Nice job out there tonight.
thank you, man. Appreciate it.
That is Jared Rexing, your race winner, getting it done out here tonight. Now, let's move on to our second place finisher, and that is none other than Kendall Noah in the 94 machine. Mr. Kendall, you got your ears on, bud?
Yeah.
You bring your car home in second place tonight. Tell us a little bit about your race and what it took for that 94 to finish in second.
Earlier in the race, I kind of burnt my right front tire up, and after that, I started to tone down on how much I'd crank the wheel. And then I started running a lot better throughout after that. And then that last caution came out, and I was luckily I was far enough back to see it develop and then avoid it. And then I was like, yeah, I'm far enough back. I might as well pit, take 2 tires. Didn't know how that was going to work out, but worked out in my favor.
Well, the 94 comes home in second here tonight. You also had a race win earlier in the season, but not being in the chase doesn't mean that you don't have a chance to go out and win these things. Looking forward to Richmond. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not the greatest short track racer, so I'm not, very confident with that. Hopefully I can run enough practice laps this week to be more confident. But it is a good momentum build after the last few weeks that I've had with results. So
Well, man, congratulations on second place. Any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give here?
I'd like to thank PRM for helping me out with this race. We were talking about like how our tires were wearing throughout the race every time we pitted, just to see if we needed to turn back on how much we were turning and all that. And I also like to shout out for Jared. He's going to be on my new team next year, Myrtle Beach Speedway Sim Sports. So congrats to him. I know this is a big moment for him with his first win.
All right, man. Well, congratulations, Kendall, on that second place finish here tonight. Thank you so much for sticking around for the post-race interview.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. Now it's time to move on to our third place finisher, and that is the driver of the 19 machine and our highest finishing chase contender, none other than the 19 of David Tooker. David, congratulations on third place, man. What a race out there. That 19 machine was fast all night long, running up front. Tell us a little bit about your race.
It was a rather good race for me. Just pretty much ran the top 5, mostly third that entire race. Thomas and Jared were on another level. They were just so fast. Unfortunately, Thomas got caught up in a wreck earlier and after that last caution came out. So that sucks for him because he was a fast car. But nonetheless, I'm happy to finish third.
Well, at 19, looking at a green, white checkered on the front row outside, what was going through your mind there?
Really just I knew I had to time it because I knew some of those guys were in a Discord by themselves talking in their Discord chat, but I accidentally jumped it and then I timed it perfect, and I just barely didn't cross them over the line, but it was enough to be even with them entering 1 and 2. So as soon as that restart happened, I knew I had a chance, and I had them down the backstretch when they wrecked, but the caution didn't come out. And then coming through 3 and 4, I knew it was going to be a tough drag race all the way to the line, but he just slightly stepped on the gas a little bit too hard in the center of 3 and 4, and he drove up into my left rear, and I caught up on him on the right front or his right rear, and it basically like bunny hopped me, but I kept going and finished third. So, but it was a stressful few laps, but it was a lot of fun.
As a chase contender, you had the highest finish of your competitors. You know, a non-chase driver won the race, but you have the points advantage now, trying to close the gap to Chad Frankenfield. Looking at Richmond for race number 2 in this round, what are your thoughts going forward here?
You know, as much as I'd like to say that the stress is a little bit off, it's not. It's still going to be there regardless. Even with a win, the stress is just there, just off of just consciousness. But you know, the last Richmond race, I think I finished second or third, so pretty good outing there, and hopefully I can keep that going. And I'm really, this race was, I knew it was going to be the tougher one of the round for me, so I'm kind of glad that I finished really well, and hopefully I can finish well next week too.
All right, well, the 19 with a solid third place finish. Any people you need to thank for this finish?
Yeah, just this whole Pro Edge racing team. Just every week we're always, we've proven that we have the speed and that we're there to compete and there to win. Especially Josh Clark. He gave me a huge shot on that restart to keep me with Jared. So that gave me the ultimate fighting chance. So I want to thank him especially. But this whole racing team, just they pour their heart out every weekend to see if we can find more speed and win some more races. But yeah, just thank you to all those guys.
All right, man. Well, again, congratulations on third place, and we look forward to seeing you at Richmond next week.
Thank you, man.
That was David Tooker, your third place finisher here tonight. Guys, that is going to wrap it up for us here in the opening race of round number 2. Nothing left but to go through our race results. Jared Rexing picks up his first win of the season. Kendall Noah Player in the 94 machine finishing second. Third place going to David Tooker. Want to thank all those drivers for sticking around and giving us a wonderful post-race interview. Josh Clark bringing it home in fourth place. Fifth going to Ethan Reasoner. Richard Hines in sixth. Seventh place will be Dustin Dewar in his best finish of the season. Shane DiMatova in eighth. Ninth place going to Levi. Rowdy Zielinski. Chad Frankenfield going to round out your top 10. Damien Leininger in 11th. 12th going to Logan Shea. 13th going to Matthew Weeks. Michael Goodman in the 73 machine going to finish in 14th. Scott Haney finishing in 15th. 16th going to Dallas Myhan. 17th, Rusty Capel. Thomas George finishing 18th. 19th going to Gerald Campbell. Joshua Personette finishing in 20th spot. 21st, Chris Jordan. Andrew Rucker finishing 22nd. 23rd, Josh Robin. Brady Clark finishing in that 24th spot. 25th going to Brent Jones. 26th, Joshua Furr. And 27th will be David Westergreen. So thank you guys for joining me here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Hope you all enjoyed the show. I thoroughly enjoyed broadcasting this race, talking with y'all about racing, and I hope to see you all next week at Richmond for the Pinecone Cabin 200. Y'all have a good night, and until I see you then, stay safe and have a good night.